On May 21, 2023, the police in South Korea arrest this girl and find a suitcase with blood stains inside it. Now the question is, where did this blood come from? Option A, the girl says it's her menstrual blood because she's on her period. Option B, the girl also says she gave birth to a child herself, whom she didn't want to keep, so she put the child's body in that bag and threw it away. Option C, the blood belongs to her tuition teacher whom she killed, cut into pieces, put the body parts in the bag, and threw it away. What do you think? Whose blood is it? Let me tell you more about this girl in The Crime with the Suitcase. I'll tell you about South Korea's most dangerous psycho killer, whose name is Jung Yoo-jung. Jung Yoo-jung was a 23-year-old girl born in Busan, South Korea. Looking at her innocent face, no one could imagine she could take someone's life. She had an innocent face, wore glasses, and her hair was tied up. It looks like this girl would be found reading books in a library somewhere. Anyways, Jung's upbringing was done by her grandfather from childhood. She never received love from her parents. She attended a private school in Busan. If you ask her classmates, Jung always preferred to be alone. She never talked to anyone in school, and if someone initiated a conversation with her, it wasn't like other kids bullied her. That's why she preferred to be alone and always sat on the last bench alone. She was alone in her entire school, and even after graduation, she wasn't in touch with anyone. Now, on to the point, a girl who sits alone, doesn't socialize much, might be very good at studies. But sadly, Jung's case wasn't like that. She was average in studies. After graduation, Jung remained unemployed for 5 years and kept preparing for civil service exams. Even to pass these exams, you need to have good English, and Jung's English level was not like a school kid's. Remember this English point, it's very important for the case later. Due to Jung's poor social skills, she couldn't find a job anywhere. When she was 18, she applied to a golf company, but she kept getting rejected from there. To the point where she got so frustrated that she called the company and cursed at them, asking why they didn't hire her. After graduation, Jung isolated herself completely. She never left the house, didn't talk to anyone, and didn't have any friends. In Jung's sad and lonely life, her only source of entertainment was true crime documentaries. She was obsessed with them. Now, watching crime stories isn't wrong at all, we all watch them. In fact, my whole channel is based on crime stories, but we watch these stories out of curiosity. But Jung's case was a little different. She was so immersed in murder serial killers documentaries that she actually wanted to know how it feels to take someone's life. She watched documentaries where a criminal commits a perfect crime and the police couldn't catch them. Jung also wanted to commit a perfect crime somewhere. Jung Yoo-jung created a profile on a tutoring app called tutor.com. According to the app's needs, you can contact any teacher for their services. It's a very professional application used by many people in Korea. Jung pretended on this app that she was a mother looking for a tutor for her 14-year-old daughter who could teach her English. In this search, Jung contacted a 26-year-old teacher named Kim. They had a little conversation, and then Jung asked Kim if she lived alone. Kim said yes, and then Jung asked if her daughter could come to Kim's apartment for tutoring. Kim said yes again, and they decided the time and date for their first teaching session. Kim was a very helpful and patient teacher. She lived alone but still agreed to teach a child at her home. At that time, she didn't know that she was inviting her death. On the 26th of 2023, in CCTV footage, you can see that Jung arranged a school uniform from somewhere and dressed as a schoolgirl, going to Kim's house pretending to be her daughter. You won't believe it, Kim even cut her hair so that she would look like a 14-year-old middle school girl. Around 5:30, Jung reached Kim's door, and Kim invited her inside. Seeing Jung in her school uniform and her innocent face, Kim didn't have even a hint of doubt that she wasn't a teenager. As soon as they entered the apartment, Jung pulled out a knife and started mercilessly attacking Kim. The attack was so quick and intense that Kim didn't even realize what happened to her. Jung stabbed Kim over 20 times in her neck and chest, and even after she died, Jung kept stabbing her with the knife. The most shocking thing about this case is that after committing the crime, Yoo-jung didn't flee immediately. She was very calm and decided to remove her evidence and the body from there. So, Yoo-jung casually leaves the apartment and goes to 2 different supermarkets where she buys knives, garbage bags, and cleaning supplies. Carrying all these items, she goes to Kim's apartment and then comes out again. She goes to her own home, takes a suitcase, and returns to Kim's apartment. It's so bizarre to me that this girl has committed such a big crime and she's not panicking at all. She keeps coming back to the scene of the crime like nothing happened. In the CCTV footage, we can see Yoo-jung wearing Kim's clothes, carrying a suitcase in her hand, and waiting for a taxi. You know, She's not wearing Kim's clothes because hers might be dirty, she's wearing them to pretend to be Kim. And there's a very disturbing reason behind this, which I'll explain in the video ahead. Seriously, this girl is not just a mere murderer. If you find this case complicated, I'm sorry, but this girl is very complicated. Anyway, after the taxi arrives, Yoo-jung puts the suitcase in the trunk and tells the driver to take her to the Nagdong River. Upon reaching the location, when Yoo-jung takes out the suitcase, the driver notices that something is leaking from it. Yoo-jung tells the driver to stop by the riverbank in the nearby jungle after Yoo-jung left Kim's body parts. When the driver opened the trunk, he saw bloodstains there. The driver already suspected why a girl was taking a suitcase into the jungle in the middle of the night, and his suspicion turned into certainty. He didn't go from there, instead waited for Yoo-jung to return. When Yoo-jung was coming back from dumping the body parts in the jungle, the driver noticed that the suitcase seemed much lighter than before. So, the driver immediately called the police. Shortly after the call, the police arrived and checked Yoo-jung's suitcase. They didn't find any body parts inside, but they did find bloodstains. Upon questioning, Yoo-jung claimed that it was actually menstrual blood. The police were suspicious that something was wrong, so they called an ambulance and took Yoo-jung to the hospital. At the hospital, it became clear that Yoo-jung was not menstruating. After this, Yoo-jung completely changed her story during interrogation. She said that she had actually given birth to a child herself, whom she didn't want to keep, and the body in the bag was that of the child. But after Yoo-jung's ultrasound, it became clear that she had not given birth to any child. Then, finally, the police arrested Yoo-jung and took her to the police station for interrogation. During the interrogation, Yoo-jung told another fabricated story. She said that when she arrived at Kim's house, there was already a man there who had killed Kim and threatened her to help hide the crime and dispose of the body. He also threatened Yoo-jung that if she helped him with the crime, he wouldn't kill her and would even let her live Kim's life secretly. The police didn't believe this theory at all. Why would a murderer tell Yoo-jung that she could live Kim's life? It makes no sense. After telling a couple of false stories, Yoo-jung finally confessed the truth. She told the police that she murdered Kim because she wanted to know how it feels to take someone's life. There was no specific reason for her to kill Kim, she just wanted to kill someone. So, as soon as she entered the apartment, she started killing Kim, and even after committing such a horrendous murder, Yoo-jung was absolutely calm in front of the police. She killed Kim and disposed of her body as part of a premeditated plan. Yoo-jung told the police that she had a great interest in watching murder documentaries. She got topics for her fast-track program from such documentaries like How to Get Away with Murder and How to Commit a Perfect Crime. She also told the police that she really liked a Korean movie called Vengeance Specifically, which is a Korean psychological thriller where one woman kills another woman and then steals her identity. The murderer starts living the life of the dead woman, and if we think about it, Yoo-jung's case is quite similar to this movie. Yoo-jung was very unhappy since childhood. She was very lonely and not good at studies either. Her English was also poor, which is why she didn't have any job. On the other hand, Kim was performing academically very well. Her life was going great. She was independent, her English was good, and she was living a life that Yoo-jung had always desired. So, just like in that movie, Yoo-jung killed Kim. She wore her clothes and even took her ID cards. Yoo-jung thought she had committed a perfect crime just like in the movie, and she got away with it. The police saw that this girl was not normal at all. Even after committing such a gruesome crime, she showed no remorse whatsoever. So, the police decided that the girl was very dangerous for society and they made her identity public. The media and news channels started informing people about Yoo-jung, and a strange fear spread across South Korea. People were saying that if someone who looks as normal as Yoo-jung can commit such a big crime, it's very difficult to trust anyone. After Yoo-jung's arrest, she made a public appearance where she apologized to people. She was asking for forgiveness, but there was no hint of fear or remorse in her voice. You can see for yourselves in the court. Yoo-jung tried to portray herself as mentally unstable to avoid a heavy sentence, and we've seen the same thing in many Korean cases before, and it's really frustrating. In this case, it was clear that the murder was pre-planned, and she was sound-minded when she committed the crime. During the court hearing, Yoo-jung was found guilty, and she was sentenced to life imprisonment, which means she'll spend the rest of her life behind bars. This case was disturbing for everyone, and after the sentencing, the judge said that this murder has created an atmosphere of fear in society, that anyone could be murdered, and people have lost trust in each other. Don't forget to like and share this video. Subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you next time with a new video.